Hi friends, welcome to Crack Grade B. In today's lecture, we are going to see one of the important tool of the monetary policy by Reserve Bank of India that reads GSAP. Now, let us understand what is GSAP. But before we do that, why we are learning GSAP at this stage when this tool was introduced long back? Because we have a current news related to GSAP. So, this is the current news that RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das announces GSAP 2.0 of rupees 1.2 lakh crore in Q2 financial year 22 additional purchase under current round. So, this is not going to come either in your objective paper or in the descriptive paper, but as an aspirant you need to have a deep understanding of what GSAP is, right? So, that is what we are going to learn in this lecture. So, be with me till the end of this lecture and let us start and let us understand what is GSAP. Since I already told you that GSAP is a monetary policy tool that was introduced in one of the monetary policy press conference by the governor. Now, what did the governor said about the GSAP? So, the central bank governor himself called the GSAP as an OMO with a distinct character. So, what is what is GSAP? So, GSAP is basically an OMO with a distinct character, right? So, it has all the characteristics of OMO apart from something distinct. So, what is that? Let us understand. But before we jump into what GSAP is, do we really know what OMO is? So, if you know, because OMO is a tool from a very long time, so you might be knowing it. But if you want to revise it, be with me. Let us understand what is OMO at the first place. Then we'll try to connect it with the GSAP. Then we will look at what distinct character this GSAP hold in terms of OMO, right? So let's begin by looking at what is OMO and what is GSAP in terms of their full form. So GSAP stands for Government Security Acquisition Program. Okay. And what is OMO? OMO stands for Open Market Operation. So this you might be knowing. So what is GSAP? Government Security Acquisition Program. So you never know. You can get an objective since this is a very new tool. You can get an objective like maybe they can ask you full form, or maybe you can get is this a qualitative tool or a quantitative tool of the monetary policy arsenal of the Reserve Bank of India. So you can get questions like this. Okay. Now let us see. So now let us see what OMO is. So if we go as per the definition, OMO stands for Open Market Operations, and this includes both outright purchase and sale of government securities for injection and absorption of durable liquidity respectively. So this is too much technical, I hope. So let us try to understand with the help of an example. So what is an example? Now look, when there is a less liquidity in the market, so you can see liquidity is very less. What RBI will do? RBI will buy the government security. Okay. So the moment RBI buys the government security, the liquidity in the market increases. How? Again, I have picturized it, but how? Let us see how. So consider these are the general publics, right? So everyone in this general public, I am there, you are there, your parents, your friends, your relatives are there, I am also there. Even the governor at his personal level, he is also a general public, right? Although he is the governor of the Reserve Bank of India, but that is his official capacity. But if you see him as a normal person, so he at his personal level is also under the general public, right? So if the liquidity system or the money supply or the cash in hand are less, right? So what RBI will do? The governor will say, let me intervene and perform the OMO. He will perform and he can by the help of OMO he can increase the money supply and he can also decrease the money supply. Again, the question is how? This is how he can do. Now see, this is the governor. If he want to infuse or increase the money supply, increase the money supply. If you want to infuse or increase the money supply, what he need to do? He need to buy what? He need to buy the government bonds, right? So the moment he buys the government bond, from where he is buying? From market. So see, whenever you want to buy something, you have to shell out some money from your pocket, right? So that is what RBI is doing. RBI is buying government bonds from the market, and RBI is selling out some money. And while doing so, what RBI is doing? RBI is injecting money in the economy. I hope this is clear. Now, if I ask you, what happens when you reverse this? When you reverse this, what happens? Just look at it very carefully. So when you reverse it, the moment you reverse it, see, I am going to back the previous slide once again. This was the previous slide, right? Now when you reverse it, what happens? So when you reverse it, where RBI sells the government bond, where? Market. The RBI sells the government bond in the market, and what happens? People out there in the market buys this, and when they want to buy, they need to shell out money. So the money goes to RBI. So in that sense, so when does RBI sells? When they want to reduce the money supply. Or suck the liquidity, right? So when RBI is selling the government bond, that means RBI is sucking the liquidity from the market, or it is reducing the money supply. It is bringing the cash at RBI's disposal from market. I hope this is clear. Now let us summarize it. Let us see both of them one by one. First one is buy. So when RBI buys the government security from the market, what is happening? It is infusing the money into the economy, right? It means more money into the hands of people, right? And when there is more money into the hands of people, the value of the money comes down, because money is in abundance. So money becomes less valuable, right? Since buying of government security has an effect of what? The money supply is increasing. So the moment, see, increases the money supply. So see the inverse relationship. At the one hand, the money supply is going up. So when the money supply goes up, the money in the hands of the people also goes up. This means there is abundance money supply in the market, hence it becomes less valuable. So anything that you have in your life in abundance, you don't value it, and this is not with you, this is with everyone. This is with every human being. That is what economics is, right? So money becomes less valuable, right? The value of the money comes down. Reciprocal effect. Now second is price of the bond goes up. Price of the bond goes up. Why? Now see, at the one hand what happened, the money in my hand, the money in your hand has increased, right? Now what we will do, we will try to invest this money somewhere where from where we can get good rate of return. Okay, so we will invest it in bonds. We will invest it in bonds. Now theory of demand and supply will come into play. So when there are more people rushing towards buying of that particular bond, the price will go up. The price will go up. The price of the bond will increase. Getting my point? Understand the connection. Now when the price of the bond will increase, the yield will come down. So we will not talk about the yield in this particular lecture. So again, the price of the bond and the yield carries the inverse relationship, right? The yield will come down, and the moment the yield starts to come down, what happens? The interest rate in the economy also comes down, because interest rate and the bond yield tries to match each other, so they always align with each other. Some or the other points in variation, they using the market forces, they align with each other, right? So it doesn't becomes equal to, so don't take it as equal to, it tries to align, right? So the moment one is going up, the other one will also rally and tries to maintain the same level. Okay, that happens because of market force. So I will come with a lecture where I will explain this thing, because this is related to bond yield and the bond price. We will not discuss that particular thing here, but I hope you got the connection, how it is connected. Just by buying of government security from the market, the RBI injected the liquidity in the market, means more money into the hands of people. That means money becoming less valuable, and when the money becomes less valuable, people will try to invest. Money becomes less valuable, then since the money with the people is more now, they will try to invest. Okay, so this will have an effect. We can see the price of the bond will go up, and when the price of the bond will go up, the yield will come down, and that yield will compel this interest rate in the economy to align with itself, means this will also come down. So this is the reciprocating effect that takes place. So I hope you got the connection. I have repeated it twice, even when you have, I have repeated it twice. Still, if you didn't get it, I will ask you to reverse the video and watch it once again. Now let us go ahead and see the case when do RBI does this. So in case of recessionary trends, so when the economy is going down, that is when the recessionary case is going to happen. RBI is keen to boost money supply in the market and ensure adequate credit availability for investment and production. So it buys securities, increasing the money supply. In the last slide you have seen, no, in this slide also you can see how just by increasing the money supply, RBI can boost the economy, right? Now let us understand the next phenomenon, that is sell. When RBI sells the government security in the market, what happens at the first place? It decreases the money supply, because when RBI sells the government security, it asks money from us, right? So we buy the government security and we give the money to RBI. So what happens? The money supply at our disposal comes down at the first place. At the second place, what happens? Since we have less money in our hands now, the money becomes more valuable, right? So the money becomes more valuable this time, since we are selling it, and the moment we are selling the security, the yield is going up, the bond yield is going up, and when the bond yield is going up, the interest rate is tend to go up, because as I said, it keeps on aligning with each other, right? So I hope you got this. If you have not got this, again I would ask you to reverse it and watch it once again. Then let us see when does RBI does this. So in case of inflationary situation, RBI adopts a contractionary monetary policy, that is, it sells government securities and absorbs the excess money from the financial flow. So when does RBI use this? When there is a situation of inflation. Now, when does inflation happens? When people have more money to spend in against of the number of goods available in the market. Means the money supply is high, but the supply of the goods are not in that proportion. Then the situation of inflation arises, because the price of the goods goes up. Okay. Now, so in this case, when this situation arises, RBI sells the government security and tries to manage the situation of inflation. Okay. Next, how it is related to bond market. So we are not going to see completely how it is related. We are just going to see what's the correlation to understand what is GSAP. So it's like this: bond price and interest rate have a negative relationship, right? So bond price and interest rate, don't confuse it with yield. So bond yield and bond price is two different things, right? So many of the time we tend to get confused between these two. So they are altogether a different thing. So bond price and interest rates have a negative relationship. What does this mean? This means that these two are in opposite direction. How? Now see, when RBI wants to increase the money supply, they have to decrease the number of government security in the market, right? They have to decrease the government security in the market. And when the RBI wants to increase the money supply, right, they have to decrease the number of government security in the market. So this means they are in always opposite direction. Okay, when one is reducing, the other one is increasing. When the other one is increasing, the first one is decreasing, right? So we have to understand this. Now let us see two more important things that is happening in the bond market. The first thing being, what is the first thing that is happening? When RBI hints at a surplus liquidity stance, short-term rates tend to go down and price in the money market rise. Now, the second one being, when RBI signals tightening of liquidity in the system, short-term rate surges and price of money market instruments fall. So opposite thing happens. Again, theory of demand and supply will come into play, and things will happen in the opposite direction. What we have seen here, the opposite will happen there. When there is a situation where there is less liquidity in the market, means RBI is going to infuse the liquidity in the market, then the phenomenon that is going to happen is this: the short term rate will surge and the price of the money market instruments will come down. I hope this is clear. Now let us come to our discussion of GSAP. GSAP as an OMO with a distinct character. Now what is the distinct character it has? Let us see two of the important news articles that came up very recently. The first one, Government Securities Acquisition Program or GSAP, through which RBI purchases government security worth 1 lakh crore in the first quarter of 22. Okay. The second one being, the Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikanta Das on June 4 announced that another round of government security acquisition program worth rupees 40,000 crore will be conducted on June 17. Additionally, GSAP 2.0 of rupees 1.2 lakh crore will be conducted in Q2 FY22. So this is important. I am highlighting it. So this is the distinct character, right? So what is the distinct character? The distinct character is upfront commitment. In OMO, RBI never says that I am going to conduct OMO of 1 lakh crore in this quarter or maybe this financial or something like that. So when does RBI perform OMO? RBI in its monetary policy framework has a team that look after the liquidity situation of the economy. So whenever they feel that they need to change the liquidity in the economy, so either they need to increase the liquidity or decrease the liquidity, they perform OMO, and also they have different tools. So it's not that OMO is only thing into their arsenal. So they have many things, many other things that we'll discuss in the lecture of monetary policy. But in this lecture, let us keep our discussion limited to OMO. Let's suppose they perform OMO, right? But they never tell what amount and when they are going to perform. So it is according to the situation they react, and yes, they give notice. But here what the governor said, additionally GSAP 2.0 of rupees 1.2 lakh crore will be conducted in Q2 FY22. So during this quarter, the current quarter, during this quarter, RBI is going to perform the OMO or the GSAP 2.0. Let's not say OMO, let's say GSAP 2.0 of rupees 1.2 lakh crore. This is the distinct character. What? That RBI has committed that I will do it irrespective of the condition. Okay. So number one distinct character is upfront commitment. Number two distinct character is purchase bond worth a specific amount. It said that 1.2 lakh crore. Then the idea is to give a comfort to the bond market. Now, why do RBI wants to give this comfort to the bond market? A big question, right? Yes, let me answer it. Additional impact of GSAP. Let's look into it. Bond yield will come down. Now, what is the benefit of RBI when the bond yield comes down? Right? Borrowing for the central and state government will be cheaper. So RBI as a banker to the government, okay, as a banker to the government, as the monetary authority of the country, should look into this aspect that since the situation of COVID is going on, both the central government and the state government are very tight when it comes to their fiscal policy, because they are spending heavily on different things, maybe the health infrastructure or procurement of vaccines or oxygen plants and medicines and all, and they are also running some free food program for the poor people. Okay, so in this way, both the spendings of the central and the state governments are high, on the higher side. So now from where they will bring this extra money? They have to borrow. So when the bond yield in the bond market will come down, the interest rate will also come down. Means the cost of borrowing for the central and the state government is going to come down heavily. So this is a relief, and this is not limited to central or state government. So there are many other financial institutions who is going to take advantage of this particular situation. So RBI has not done it only for the sake of central and state. RBI has done it for the sake of entire economy. Okay, because the entire economy is going on through a different patch due to this pandemic. Now, next thing, so there are some analysts that believes depreciation of rupees and and may continue further as investor might pull out money in search of higher interest rate. Now see, as an investor, you, me, right, as an individual investor, what we think, जहाँ से पैसा ज़्यादा आए हम वही लगाना है, ठीक है. From wherever we are going to get higher interest rate, we'll put our money there. Okay. So some of the analysts thinks that the rupee will depreciate due to this GSAP. But you know, in economy, everything has a cascading effect. So if the rupee is depreciating, the export will become it will help the export, right? So again, a negative sign has a positive sign in the economy, but you know, we should not consider this. So I have only mentioned it so that you can write something in the descriptive paper. So this is a point of discussion, but you know, there is no data because GSAP is something that is introduced in India for the very first time. So there is no historical data present to ascertain the fact that it will depreciate the rupee. So there is no data in place. So this is just a thought of some analyst that this will depreciate the rupee. But again, when you write answer, you can mention even if the rupee depreciates, that will help in our export. But on the other hand, you will also have to think that we will have to spend more dollar when we import. So there is again a negative side to it. So yes, you can think and write a very good answer out of it. So with this, we have come to the end of this lecture. I hope you have understood. So do visit our website, that is www.creditguideby.com. You will find RBI Grade A, SEBI Grade A, IRD Assistant Manager, NABARD Grade A, FSI Technical Officer, EPFO, UPSC EPFO Enforcement Officers Examination course. Do check out them. Some of the best course that is available with a very economical price tag. You must check it out. NABARD Grade A, which includes ESI and ARD, that include mocks as well for only ₹2499, and for NABARD Grade E, that covers all the subjects including mocks for only 3499. So this is one of the most economical course that is available, and with this we have completed this lecture. I hope you have learned, and if you have not learned, you have revised what OMO is, and you have learned what GSAP is and how it has a distinct characteristics over the OMO. Thank you so much and happy learning.